What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building. And this time I am back with a part 2 of the Red Table Talk that took place between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and her mother and their daughter, Willow. On this part 2, they are going to discuss boundaries in their relationship. I really love this part. I had no idea that they went through this. I think this was a shocker for all of us. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, and then I will come back with my commentary.
That launched our communication. Before we got married, we were having the party at the house. Remember that? We were playing Pictionary, 20 people around the table.
Yes.
And Trey is sitting on my lap. He's like 1.5. He's like, he might be just about 2. In some order, she cursed at me in front of 20 people at this party. She's like, Will, would you shut the up?
Ooh.
With Trey sitting on my lap.
I remember that.
Right? And I grabbed a newspaper and I said, bah! Can I talk to you in the other room, please?
Oh my God. And I was like,
right.
This joker just hit me on my head with a newspaper? Like I'm a dog?
We went in the other room, and I said, Jada, this is the deal. I grew up in a household where I watched my father punch my mother in the face.
Damn.
And I will not create a house, a space, an interaction with a person where there's profanity and violence. If you have to talk to me like that, we can't be together.
Wow.
We're not going to use any profanity in our interactions. We're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to be violent. I can't do it.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you're not going to be hitting me in my head. Get out.
Dang.
Right? And she was looking, that was the dumbest crap she had ever heard.
Yeah.
She was like, wait, so you would break up with me over some words? I was like, yeah, I just did. I was like, we're not cursing.
Damn.
And her eyes welled up with tears. And she was like, okay, it was 20 years before we used profanity in any conversation that we had. We didn't use any profanity in any argument. We never raised our voices. We took communication courses, all of that. And we never had violence.
You never raised your voice?
We didn't raise our voices.
We couldn't afford to. We just couldn't because
it could get
ugly. We wouldn't have been able to nurture kindness, love.
What do you
do with our feelings?
With the emotion that comes when you're angry?
You really have to discipline yourself.
Right.
Like for me, I had to discipline myself and really handle that within myself to see, okay, what are you angry about? And then come to peace and then go and talk to Will when I can actually have a communication. Because really, you're not communicating when you're talking to each other in anger.
I love this so much, you guys. Oh my God. I love you, Smiths. I love you. I love you. I love you. Don't y'all just love them for having this transparent conversation? But they are absolutely correct. And I think a lot of people should have those type of boundaries in their households, in their relationships. The cursing at each other. It's one thing to curse, while you expressing yourself, and we get on our little platforms, podcasts and radio shows, and you talk your shit, or they may do their little acting roles and talk their shit and curse. But while they are interacting with each other, there is no cursing. Will said he would never allow her to treat him that way, and Jada was just like, well, you ain't gonna be putting your damn hands on me either, with no damn newspaper. And I'm here for what she was saying too. They both are right. But yeah, you can't really have a conversation in a relationship when you're angry. And I'm still learning that. I'm not going to say, well, I had to learn that. I'm still learning that, to not communicate with people when I am angry, because I get very emotional, and a sister can hit below the belt, honey. Okay, I can hit, honey.
Yeah.
What I realize is like you're beating up on someone you say you love.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right? Versus handle that with yourself. There have been plenty of times when we have to go, I can't do this right
To
now.
go through your thoughts and
Go
just
through
figure
my
it
thoughts,
out.
go cry, go curse, go kick a tree.
Yep,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And
And
deal
come back
and
to
come
the situation
back
when you're
Yep.
calm
Yep.
and
and
peaceful.
reasonable.
Because then you just create more
yeah.
problems.
Absolutely.
You're mad about how you got to the argument. Now you're mad about what happened in the argument. What you said, what you did, your
yeah.
tone,
Right,
all
You
of
can
that.
never
Right,
pull
right.
it back. And that was one of the things we learned really
Real quick.
early.
We learned that.
You apologize 1,000
times.
times. You never get it back. And you get addicted to it also.
Yeah, and that
You get addicted. Like
Like if you keep on doing
if you
it,
once you call somebody a couple times,
it's real easy
it's
to
real
repeat
easy
it.
to repeat it.
Yeah.
You know?
And to just go
Child, don't I know it? Once you call somebody a bitch, and I don't do that in my romantic relationships, of course. But yeah, once you call somebody a bitch and you just saying little stuff, and you know, and some of you may know in your relationships or maybe past relationships where you had a negative relationship with somebody and they calling you out your name, and you know how they had that oh bitch, shut up, you know, and then you look at them and it triggers you and it hurts you, and then they just keep doing it, and he is so correct with that, because a lot of people, they do that. They just curse. They saw their father, like Will said, he saw his father punch his mother in the face and shit. That shit is not right. No child should ever see that. So I love this so much. I love that he saw that in his father, that it was wrong, and said, when I get older and I get my family, I'm not going to treat my wife like that. We're not going to curse. We're not going to put our hands on each other. We can walk away and leave the situation and come back when we are ready to have a rational conversation. I am so here for that.
I'm telling you,
Listen.
me and Will were not the ones.
We were not the ones.
We would have
These kids
killed
could
each
have
other.
heard all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it would have gone bad.
Yeah.
And we both instinctually
We
knew that.
knew that it could go wrong. I pre-planned the things that I would say when I was in that place.
Exactly.
So I had stock things. I would say, I'm impaired. I can't be loving right
Yeah.
now. I can't be kind
Yeah.
right now. So you have to let me go.
Yeah.
And when I come back, I will come back in a way that is the way you deserve me to deliver myself to you.
Or he would just be like, I'm going to leave before I knock your head off.
That is so fun.
You know what I think is really strong? And the thing with the two of us that never got out is the intention. We were always in sync on a couple of really powerful ideas. We were always building a family.
Yep, always.
We were always
That was our
building.
number one
That was our number one priority. We
family.
were family.
That until this day,
Yep.
no matter what, family.
Yes.
No matter what. So everything else that might have gone awry or crazy.
We had cross intentions sometimes that made us collide.
Yeah.
Right? That was one of the major difficulties that we had. Because externally, everything was beautiful.
Yeah.
As a couple, we are magical. Mm-hmm. We win in the material world.
Mm-hmm.
When we do it together, we win.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Karate Kid, Whip My Hair, Hawthorne, and the Nobel Peace Prize. Our family did that within a 6-month period, right?
That's crazy.
So
I didn't know that.
I was like, I'm parenting the hell out these kids. Like, we are killing it. She on Hawthorne. The only interview that Barack Obama did when he won the Nobel Peace Prize was me and mommy.
Wow.
Right? Externally, our family was winning, right? And there was a period where mommy woke up and cried 45 days straight. I started keeping a diary.
Damn. You missed some days.
It was every morning. I think that's the worst I've ever felt in our marriage.
Wow.
I was failing miserably.
Mm-hmm.
But on the outside, I was winning. Like, built the house and called the house her lake, right? And during that time, is I remember saying, like, I built this house for you. I called it Her Lake. And she said, you built this house for you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
He's so silly. He just did a little face. But yeah, this is so important to have these type of conversations in relationships. I love how he acknowledged that things look so good for them on the outside, and you know they were winning. You got Willow with the whip my hair, and me, and like the rest of you, we're looking at them on the outside like, wow, we haven't really seen this black power couple with their family. They are winning. They got the money, they got the fame, the prestige, they have everything, and yet Jada was sad. She's waking up every day crying. And y'all know how men are. They want their women to be happy. Some men want their women, I should say, because some men really, that are the opposite of Will, that are very low spiritually, low. You know, they're just, I'll get to them on another, this ain't the episode for it, but we go narcissistic men, I should say. You know, they want their woman to be unhappy. They actually prey up on that and do things, gaslight their woman so their woman is unhappy. That is not what Will was doing. He wanted, you know, his woman to win and be happy, and she still wasn't. And I think it was because I had saw this in their relationship too, where it just seemed like they were a power couple, but then it was just all about Will, and his star was just so big, and it seemed like Jada had the kids and was at home, and people are like, well, where the hell is Jada at? Jada used to be in every movie. Like when she did Menace to Society, she like was all over the place in all these films back to back to back in the 90s, you know. I think they got married in 96 or something. I think, yeah, they got married in the 90s. But it's like once she had those children, it's like she slowed down and lost her identity, I feel, and just became this mother. And it was, his career was all about him, and she could not live in that space. And I knew that. I saw that, even though I was young at the time, I saw that and felt that energy from them.
what you talking about, Jada? But it was devastating for me to accept that I built the house for me.
Yep. Yeah.
Because in my mind, I was saying I was building it for her, but I wasn't.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people try to do. They try to buy you material things and say, look what I did for you. You don't appreciate what I did for you. This is for you. No. It's not really for that person. It's for you and your ego, so you could feel good about yourself. And you know what, you guys, a lot of people with low self-esteem, and I'm not at all saying Will has that, but some people, they look at things like that. They're like, oh, I don't feel that good about me, but if I buy her this and this and this, then she'll love me, and then, you know, then everything will be good. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. You cannot buy love. People either love you or they don't.
I wanted this house. Exactly. I called it Her Lake as an ego cover.
Yeah.
Right?
What did I tell you? See?
And Jada was calling me on that.
Yep.
Right? What I realized is I was building a picture.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
I grew up in a household where I was scared and watched my father beat my mother up. Right? So I was going to build the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
It's going to be Wonderland.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be happy all the time. Come on, Willow, let's play.
Yeah.
Right?
Even though I was saying no all the way.
Yeah.
Will, the house is too big. Will,
too
not
big,
this.
right?
No, Will, and he had a picture.
I had a picture, and I had a public perception.
He had the public
that I
perception
wanted
that
to
he
project of
project.
our relationship, of the family, and what my kids are, and what my wife is, and what we are in the world.
Did you ever feel like Jada was ungrateful?
Hell yeah.
Look at everything that I've done for you.
Yes. That was another
You
thing.
ungrateful.
But that was the other thing, because there were times I felt ungrateful. Because I was like, look at your life.
Yes.
How could you be so unhappy? I used to think I was crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually how I felt when I first got wind of your discontent. It wasn't that I thought that you were ungrateful. I just didn't understand, like,
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
What could possibly be wrong?
But that's why I couldn't talk to anyone.
anyone.
And that's what everybody thought.
But Jada's an actress, but she had 2 babies and she had to be home to raise her babies while I got to do everything I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
She was sacrificing herself to fit my picture.
Right.
Yeah.
But my life
Didn't
wasn't
really
really
change.
disrupted in the least, right? And I think that was if there were an individual most poisonous aspect of our relationship in the past, is I felt that money and winning made a good relationship.
Yep.
We're succeeding in the world. That means our relationship is good.
And that is so not true. I swear, you guys, I just love Will Smith for just keeping it real on this interview. I wish so many more men would tell the truth about how they have made their women feel in the past. I'm just glad that he got this lesson and he saw things from her point of view, because a lot of men would have stayed with that mind state. Let's be honest. A lot of them are very egotistical. They're fragile. They're weak. They can't handle criticism. They can't handle you really keeping it real with them. And a lot of them, they feel like, oh, well, I'm making the money and I got the money. But sometimes when you have that money, you have a certain attitude and a certain ego about yourself that just makes you unappealing for anybody to even want to be with, you know. So you have to be humble. This is what I hear from this man. This man sounds very humble. Like, I've learned these lessons. I've learned what to do and not do to my wife. I love this.
I would say to him, I would go, Will, throw away everything that's happening in the outside world. Your career, everything. And it's just me and you on an island.
Damn.
What do we have?
And I was like, we have the island. We own the island.
You know what I mean?
And it was like, I so didn't comprehend that. So me and you on an island, what do we have? Not only did I not understand, I didn't care.
Right.
I was unaware of what it meant to truly connect with somebody.
I'd been trying to live up to an expectation for Will.
Yeah.
You
And
know-
you were trapped in a life that you didn't build,
That I didn't
you
build.
didn't want.
And that I didn't want, but that I had to come to the understanding that I allowed myself to have. You accepted all of that because of your fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the truth.
Fear of
Just fear of not wanting to rock the boat. I had kids,
Yeah.
you know, and just wanting to, you know, because he's a force to be reckoned with. It's just a lot of stuff you let slide and go past that angers you, and
Right.
you get resentment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, but you don't change it because you're scared.
You're scared, yeah.
At the end of the day, it's about fear.
And that was around the time when Willow went, oh, I was so mad at you this day. When you put your hand on my face. remember that?
yeah.
And Willow, me and Jada are going through it. And Willow was like, oh, Daddy, it's so sad. And she's putting her hand on my face. She was like 9. And Jada was in the kitchen. And she's like, Mommy, isn't it sad? And Jada said, what? She said, Daddy has a picture of a family in his mind. And it's not us. I was like,
Out of the mouth of babes. That is funny. That is funny. And children are like that. They pick up on energy, and she really got that from her father, that he had this picture in his head of how his family looked. Their accomplishments, everything is going good. I'm making all this money and nothing is right. And we all do that. We all create that because we've had personal traumas in the past where maybe we've dealt with abuse and violence and disrespect, and we create this safe haven in our homes where nothing bad could happen and everything is going to be all good and everything should be perfect. And I know I'm guilty of it. I've did it, and you're making things worse. There's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your child from the bad and wanting good to happen in your life and in your child's life, but you gotta keep it real and let things and people just be who they are. And we'll learn that lesson. You can't create a fairy tale. These are real people. People may want to go in a different direction than you, and it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It just means that they want to go a different direction and do things differently. So I love that he learned these lessons. It was amazing.
No. The thing is, it was such deep truth, but I was just seeing the obvious.
I was like, out of the mouth of babes.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Mommy, isn't it sad?
Yeah.
And I think for me, the turning point in our relationship for me happened when I turned 40. I just, 40th birthday. Yeah, I just couldn't. I was just like,
fed up.
I was like, I can't do this like this anymore.
All right, you all, that is all I have to say about this Red Table Talk. Oh my God, it was so magical. They gave me life. I have always loved the Smiths, and I think I love them like even more now. Like, they were so transparent with this. But these are the conversations that we all should have in our relationships with our children and with our families, period. So I hope you all was inspired to do that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out later.